Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our July 8th meeting. I will call the meeting to order at 7:03 with the adoption of the agenda. Any additions?
Madam Mayor, there's a deletion for delegation. Staff Sergeant won't be able to make it today due to operational reasons, and he wasn't quite as a result of it.
He's pretty busy.
Yeah, so I'll get a hold of him to see if August 7th will work for him.
Okay, thank you. Any additions? No? Could I have someone move, please?
Move the agenda.
Deputy Mayor, all in favor? Carried. Minutes of the June 24th meeting. Any business corrections? Could I have someone move, please? Councillor Librion, all in favor? Carried. I sent my report. Did everybody get it? Oh. Is there any questions from my report? Other than I would like to say thank you very much to the staff at the town of High Level. You all did an amazing job and have nothing but accolades, but where are the forks? I'm kidding, no. It was so nice and so many people there, and yes, it was so nice to meet with them, and you guys did a fantastic job. I would also like to introduce our interim CAO, Mr. Frank Bessinger. He's come to us from Valley View, and we're very fortunate to have you here, so welcome.
Thank you. It's nice to be on board.
I also wanted to say I attended the Dene Assembly, and it was very well done. Lots of people there as well attended the assembly. And yeah, it was very well done. Anything else from my report that you'd like to talk about? Could I have someone move, please? Councillor Lambert? All in favor? Carried. Moving on to council committee reports. Deputy Mayor.
June 28th, attended the NWSAR board meeting, and then July 1st, the Canada Day celebration. And again, kudos to Director Clark and her staff. They did a great job. I'm not sure how many hot dogs we cooked, but thankfully only had to unwrap only a few packages of the individually wrapped wieners this year, so that was a plus.
I think, was there 1,500 people there? I've heard everywhere from 1,000 to.
I would say yes, but I can get Kayla to do a count of the hot dogs. They're on multiple receipts right now, so yeah, she'll do that up for you guys.
Okay. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Anderson.
June 27th, I attended a library board meeting. July 1st, Canada Day, and again, great job, guys. And July 3rd, transportation meeting, and July 3rd also Golden Range Society meeting.
Any questions? Okay, thank you, Councillor Anderson. Councillor Jessamine could not be here tonight. Understandably, he's very busy with the fires. Councillor Lambert.
On July 1st, I also attended the Canada Day celebrations, and I'd like to echo what everyone else is saying. It was very well done. Fantastic to see everybody out there. I would say that definitely close to probably 2,000 people there. It's the most I've ever seen at any Canada Day event, so that's fantastic. But it was really good, and I heard a lot of good feedback from everybody else in town too. So great job. And on July 2nd, I also attended a Chamber of Commerce meeting, and that is all I have to report.
Thank you, Councillor. And Councillor Wilkie. It's you again. Counselor Welke?
Madam Mayor, no meetings to report this session.
Okay, Counselor LeBron?
I had the library board on the 27th, and as well as everyone else, I was at the Canada Day celebrations, and great job, everyone. It was an amazing day, a lot of fun, a lot of good things heard about it, so great job.
Thank you, everyone. Could I have a motion to move the minute, or the meetings, please? Counselor Welke, all in favor? Carried. Council's action list. Is there any questions? Yes.
Speak on that, please. We reviewed collectively with the senior leadership team and went over the entire action list and deleted where it needed to be deleted and added where we needed to add. So the next version that you're going to see where it says closed, we kept it in there just for the time being so that council can see it, and the next time you probably won't see it there. So it's current now. The only other thing to do is that we're gonna go back to the resolutions dating back to January, just to make sure that we've captured everything.
Perfect.
Should be current by the next council meeting.
Thank you very much. I just have one question, and this is a question we ask often. Where is the agreement with the Deniette? Okay. Nothing? All right. Oh, okay, thank you. All in favor of that? Carried. And the next is the community events. I had a couple questions. So is the rodeo from the 12th to the 14th or the 13th to the 14th? Is there I think there's a jackpot on the 12th, but there's not an actual rodeo, right?
Just give me 1 second, I will look that up for you.
Okay,
Yeah, Madam Mayor, the rodeo is the Saturday, Sunday, the 13th, 14th, because we're there for.
okay. And the farmer's market, Director Clark, that's the farm, that's nothing to do with our oh, I can't say that word, farmer's market, right?
No, that's their farmers. market.
Okay. So do you have to pay to get into their farmer's market, do you know?
I actually don't know much about the rodeo, but I can look into it and get back to you.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I had. Could I have someone move it if there's no other questions? Councillor LeBron, all in favor? Carried. Moving on to the monthly council reports. Sorry, not council. Monthly reports. Two council, I can't see that. Is there any questions from I don't have any questions. Does anybody else?
Oh, I do.
Go ahead, Councillor Welke.
Under communication, is the video project, is it on the website? Sorry, CAO, to Bill. There was a little museum video created film project. Just wondering where we can see that.
Thanks for the question, Councillor Welke. The video's on our YouTube page and it was shared on our social media. There was a post on our in our newsflash section that has a link back to the YouTube page. So there are a number of places where you can view it.
Good, I'll check that out. Thank you.
Any other questions from council reports? Two council reports. All right, could I have someone move them then?
Question.
Oh, Councillor Lambert.
Sorry, I should have asked this in the last section there, but just an update on Community Park. Were we I think the last meeting you had said that it was seeded, or is it still to be seeded?
It is still to be seeded.
Okay, because I drove by the other day and there's lots of weeds there, and I was a little
yes,
concerned if
yes,
that,
so
we
we
put down the
have-
wrong seed.
Yeah, no, and I have talked to the staff about mowing it, so
Okay.
it won't look like that.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Does that, sorry.
Excuse me?
Madam Mayor, I'd like to ask a question
Counselor
related to the
Welke.
previous question. Does that pose a challenge then if it's overrun with now weeds to get the grass started?
Yes, so I did speak with Darcy, our Public Works foreman, and we would have to drag it before we seed it, so like clear it up before we.
Do we have the seed?
We do not have the seed, so there was a bit of miscommunication. They had seeded the middle, the fire guard, just not on both sides.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
While we're on parks, what's happening with the museum cultural park?
So I had a meeting with ATCO. They are still interested in helping. They just may not be able to help in the capacity that they had offered before. So I'm gonna send them kind of the notes that that I had given to council on where we're at. And then Amanda and me are meeting. I'm just waiting until she's available.
So did you speak with Cole?
Yes, I did.
Okay. That's disappointing.
It is.
Do you want to know why it's disappointing? Because they had donated 25,000 and it wasn't used. ATCO had donated 25,000 towards the cultural park last year.
And where did it
Just
go?
never contacted them.
Oh, like it wasn't, it was offered.
It was offered, it was waiting, but. All right. Thank you. Oh. Any other questions of admin? All right, could I have someone move?
I'll move
Counselor Welke,
reports
thank you.
to council.
Moving on to new business. Oh, all in favor? Well, they didn't respond, so I did thought they were sleeping. No. Carried. Okay, I'm moving on to new business under the request for the bucket truck purchase. Who's speaking to that?
Madam Mayor and Council, I'll speak to this. So Public Works Department has put forth a proposal to purchase, and my apologies, the information I got from our foreman in comparison to the information we got from Councillor Lebron, it is not a 2000 Ford F450 bucket truck. It's a 2002 Ford F350 Versalift model bucket with a 350-pound capacity. So I have shared this information with Public Works. Just some background information. I did do a estimated cost breakdown of the number of hours we use for rentals from local vendors. And Public Works did want me to make council aware that this is also dependent on availability. So if there is no availability with our local vendors, then we have to push back or reschedule hours that we need a lift for. So we use on average about 76.5 hours of the rental, which works out to be almost $4,000 annually that we pay for some of the major events that we do use a lift for. Darcy, our Public Works foreman, has also mentioned that if this was available 24/7 to the town, then we would use it for a lot more maintenance and a lot of our alleyway projects like trimming trees, and we wouldn't have to schedule a rental to do some of these maintenance costs. So administration is asking council to allocate $7,000 from the operating surplus to purchase the bucket truck, and we would do a purchase or offer to purchase to TELUS for this.
Questions?
Oh, I had a question.
Well, he can move it.
It comments.
Discussion?
Yeah, it definitely looks like a great deal. But in the cost breakdowns, I mean, there would be other costs associated with a piece of equipment, especially a little bit older piece of equipment, so insurance and maintenance and that sort of thing. Is that a significant number at all?
So, the only other cost that I did bring up to, our mechanics and to the public works foreman is we looked at inspection costs for the boom as well. So it's about, our quote that we usually get our scissor lift inspection and telescopic picker inspection done with Reese NDT, and it's about $450 to $600 annually to get that inspected. So that would be an additional cost. Insurance, it would just be added to our, truck list or vehicle list. And also, the only other cost is when the guys did take a look at it, everything seemed to be up to date. I believe the kilometers were around 200,000 kilometers of what Darcy did say. So they were on board, and maintenance side, Mark, our mechanic, said that once, if he needed to do a on-site inspection with it, then he could, but they didn't have any issues with any major maintenance costs on it.
Okay, yeah, and that's the other thing I was thinking about, and you answered that, was the inspection of the unit. 'Cause I guess like a used unit, how do we ensure, you have somebody way up in a bucket to?
And I think it already is. I don't think that it would need like a additional CVIP or anything like that, is from what I understand. Maybe Councilor LeBron can.
Councillor LeBron? Oh, well, she's asking
Oh,
you a
okay.
question.
So every year, though, that truck does go through a CVIP inspection. It's dependent on what your insurance company is asking for, though, right? So what TELUS is, they're expected to have a CVIP and then a boom inspection every year. And the boom inspection is they just simply X-ray all the welds on the boom to make sure nothing's coming apart or cracking. Other than that, that's it. I know it just recently went through a bunch of maintenance work, had the front tires replaced and a bunch of other work, but it's being traded out, so.
Yeah, and the inspection, so our mechanic, Mark Dick, did mention that the same inspection that we have in our service truck that we have at the shop would be the same inspections that would take place with the bucket truck.
Councillor Lambert?
So just in regards to the boom, do we have a rough idea of what the life expectancy is of it? Like with the current or the updated inspections? I'm assuming they would have provided that.
As of right now, we don't have any official documentation. This was just an offer, so we definitely can request all of that. But like Councilor LeBron said, it is up to date. We would have to, when we transfer over, I can get all the specifications from insurance on what is needed for that.
Okay. Yeah, I think my only concern is that if the boom was to lose certification, of course, then it would be essentially useless to us, right? But it'd be a 22-year-old truck. That's risky. Oh, the truck's fine. It's the boom I'm worried about.
All right, any more questions? Call the vote for Deputy Mayor's motion. All in favor? Carried. The next is a briefing note on the STIP funding, kind of what we were aware of.
So, Madam Mayor and Council, this came from our previous meeting, out of the committee reports from Deputy Mayor Langford. So I did reach out and contact Danny Jung and Samantha Lee from Transportation, and they did forward back the letter to the mayor as in the package that our application exceeded the available funding for the year. I did reach back out to Tetra Tech, who did originally helped with our application in December, and they're confident that our application that they're going to resubmit for November deadline because of the budget allowance, that it would be more priority. I believe our request for our project was 3-point-some million, so we were asking for the 50% of it. So we'll definitely update council once the application is submitted, and then look at a timeline for that. And I know that we did push the project for our special levy and everything for this project for 2025, so it will still align with our funding for it.
Okay, questions to Director Phillips? None? Okay, thank you. So correspondence for action from Montana Blake, Rainbow Lake, looking for a donation from council for their FCS. Does somebody want to donate pool passes? Council?
What's our question?
Yes.
What's our, the discretionary amount, $300? Yeah.
We're donating out of town is number one,
Yeah.
but we have set a precedent to that. This is for a good cause, victim services.
I'd be okay with our discretionary amount and some capacity. Services or items. Pool passes? Yeah.
Jenna, what is a family pool pass?
I'm sorry, I don't know off the top of my head, but I can look that up.
Can you look it up right now? Yeah, it doesn't have to be a family.
I like the idea of the individual ones, just handing them out. Yeah,
Do you want to make that your motion?
sure. I'll make a motion to provide $300 worth of individual pool passes for handing out at this event on behalf of the town of Hilo.
I do know the price. $11 for a family. And then depending on the child, it goes from $175 to $325, depending on the age.
Okay. Thank you. All in favor of that motion? Carried. The next one is for Maya McDonald for the Miss Indigenous Canada sponsorship. She didn't particularly say how much she had in mind, but her entry fee is $1,200. Does somebody want to make a motion here to provide her with $300? Councillor Lambert? So Maya did go to high school here, graduated here, became an RN, and is working, with health right now. So I think this would be a good opportunity for her. So I will match council's donation,
Oh, personally.
throwing it out to the rest of you. All right. Councillor Lambert's motion, all in favor? Carried. Moving on to correspondence for information. This is the 7th generation. I thought we did a DNA application. Does anybody remember? We sent a letter of support, I believe. But it was 7 generations doing it. Okay. All in favor? Carried. So that is our council meeting for July 8th. Council will now move to a closed session, so thank you for joining. Okay.